All right. Thank you so much for joining me. So the first thing I want to do is just have you introduce yourself so everyone can get to know you.
You bet. Yeah, thanks for having me. So my name's Andrew Gable. I live in Sussex, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes northwest of Milwaukee. I grew up in Oshkosh, which is about an hour south of Green Bay. So if you're a Packers fan, real close to there. Live in Sussex with my wife, Chelsea. And then our two children, Everly, who is 5 in October, and then our son, Ford, who will turn 3 in May. So life is exciting, always keeping us on our toes. For my occupation, what I do, I'm in sales. So I sell payroll and HR technology to companies that have 200 to 500 employees. And I've been here at this company. It's called UKG. This is my 8th year here. And I cover the whole state of Wisconsin. So, grew up here and get to work in here and sell here. It's been pretty cool. How I found FLA. So I belong to CrossFit Blue Moon. It's in Sussex. So Ryan and Emma Schilter own it and run it. And Emma, I've been a member there since June of 2019. And Emma has been coach and just a really good part of mine and my wife and our kids' lives, Ryan as well. And Emma's always kind of been that little birdie chirping in my ear about, hey, you're doing great things in the gym. Ryan as well would always say this, but if you got to get on that nutrition train to be able to hit, the goals that you want. And I always have laid out pretty specific goals every year. And this year, my wife and I decided to join in October with Coach Emma. So we've been going hot and heavy since then.
Yeah, you guys have been doing really, really well. I love that. I love that you guys joined, and I love that you do CrossFit at Emma's gym because that's like family. She was down here this week, and obviously her son being my godson, she and Ryan are definitely family for me. So
for sure.
So when you started FLA, you already had a fitness background, working out, playing sports your entire life. So I understood the lack of knowledge in nutrition was frustrating for you. That's one of the things you said. How was learning the foundations with Coach Emma? How did that help you physically and mentally?
Yeah, absolutely. So I played football through high school. I was lucky enough to play in college as well. And, when you're in college, I played center on the offensive line, and my playing weight was between 285 and 290. And they're like, hey, just basically lift heavy weights, move heavy defensive linemen, and eat as much as you possibly can. 4, 5, 6,000 calories a day. But then after football, I was just kind of in a workout nutrition wasteland from the age of 21 to 32. I mean, it was frustrating to me because I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not, I'm not seeing the results I want. So when, I first sat down with Emma, I realized real quick when counting macros and, what my goal weight and what I wanted to get done in the gym was and where I was at, I was severely under eating carbs and fats.
Mm-hmm.
I was hammering that protein. I was over on cals, but I wasn't getting in the carbs, the fats, and also the fiber piece of it too. I think that's kind of the, an unsung hero of this. So once learning that with Emma, I mean, it was a drastic change in probably 4 weeks. But it's also an accountability factor, right? You got to plan out. The biggest thing for me was getting those numbers, planning out my day the night before, because I could wake up in the morning and know I only had 500 or 600 calories left for dinner, and I had X amount of protein, carbs, and fat. And then, if you're prepared for success, you're going to be successful. So it really helped, shedding that initial weight and now just kind of working through where you really want to be. But also it was really positive on the mental side of things and in the gym too. I mean, you have more energy. I was getting better sleep. I could throw in more energy at the end of the day with our kids. I only get 2 to 3 hours a night with them, and come back from the office. But really the biggest thing for me is just understanding the numbers I needed to be at, preparing the night before, getting into the gym that day, and then, feeling good about it, both physically in the gym, running around with the kids, but then mentally as well, just kind of attacking the day.
Yeah, it feels really good to know you're actually getting the results out of all the work you're putting into the gym.
Yeah,
Because you put
yeah.
a lot of
Otherwise,
work in.
yeah. I mean, otherwise, it's just for me, it's probably 80% nutrition and 20% getting your butt in the gym. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, it's after workouts, I wasn't having the protein, I wasn't having the carbs. Sometimes I mix the carbs and protein in halfway through the workout to give me a little boost. And it's been game changing. I mean, you can do
Oh,
more.
yeah.
I'm not, Ryan would always be coaching, or Emma, and I'd be doing burpee box jump overs, and they would just be hooting and hollering at me because I was dragging.
Uh-huh.
I still drag now, but I mean, I can definitely, I've made increases and gotten better, and I've always been a very numbers goal orientated person,
Yeah.
and I don't like to fail.
It
So
makes it a lot more fun when you're doing good in the gym.
100%. And it's not lost on me too how lucky I am to have my wife Chelsea on this nutrition fitness journey as well. So
Yeah.
I got to partner with this, and also she works her butt off in the gym, and she's probably seen better results than me. And she's a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids, has the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a true family and partnership, and then being able to do it with Ryan and Emma and River and our kids as well. It's pretty cool.
Uh-huh. It's a nice little family affair. So
There's no
one thing I've learned about you is you're a drinker, which I love. Uh, just like a lot of our tribe members are, and those that are out there on this journey to better health and physical fitness, most people drink. That's just the way it is. So how has the education and accountability helped you with that and keeping that as a part of your lifestyle, but also managing it and knowing how to keep it as something that you have a part of your life, but also keep it as a part of like getting to your goal.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the biggest thing, and that was eye opening, the first couple of weeks, I was like, I don't care about the numbers. You got to track everything. And then you
Uh-huh.
start tracking alcohol and those empty calories, and those add up quick. So that was very eye opening to me. But also, Emma and I have a very good understanding that, the social drinking is just not going away. It's part of our lives, right? I love an old fashioned. I love bourbon with Ryan Schilter, a glass of wine with Chelsea, or just Bush Lights with the boys. So I think I'm very similar to a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that Emma and I have worked on is preparing for that. I mean, there's very few times where that just pops up. I mean, it's never during the week, but on the weekends, we're going to be social. And
Yeah.
Emma's like, look, if we're going to have drinks, log them in there ahead of time, put a number to it, whether it's 1, 2, 4, or 6,
Yeah.
and then you work backwards from there. Bush Lights are 97 calories or
Oh,
100 if you're Miller Lights. And some days, depending on how you're feeling, let's hit overall calories and protein. Right? The rest can just be, what you drink and eat, or it's, hey, don't even worry about the protein, just hit the calories, stay within reason.
yeah.
Or you fast that day, until the afternoon, then you eat. But the biggest thing is that accountability and logging it in there ahead of time, and then holding yourself accountable to it. It hasn't been 100% hit rate. Sometimes we go
Yeah.
over it. But then, there is a piece of, you just got to be responsible. We're all grown-ups, and I don't want to lose what I've done in the gym and with the nutrition by having, an insanely fun night with friends and family, right? Sometimes you gotta hold yourself accountable. And Emma does a very good job of, she knows, and even sometimes she's there when we're all together.
Uh-huh.
And at a time, hey, how are we? Where are we sitting on the macros, calories for the day? And that's one thing I'll say about FLA, and specifically Emma, is if you don't want to be held accountable and have someone, call you out on your BS sometimes, and she's probably not the coach for you.
Right.
But I need that, and I like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the cool thing is I love that it's like it doesn't have to be perfect to create progress. And it shouldn't be perfect. You should be
Yep.
able to include fun things and have everything that you enjoy in life to keep moving forward. Um, well, in another aspect, completely separate, one of the things you said in your intake is you want to see your kids grow up and not miss out on anything from them. I think a lot of dads feel this way. How do you think Coach Emma and FLA has helped you do this? And do you think what you're learning you'll be able to pass on to them?
Absolutely. I mean, how many of us, that are watching this heard the term when they were kids from their parents or grandparents, do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
When I've gotten older and had children, I think that's completely backwards. I mean, your children are going to become who you are. So who do you want them to become? Right?
Yeah.
They're looking at you, right? You're the example. I've failed a lot as a dad. I failed even more as a husband. I mean, that's life. But as your kids get older, they see, me and Chelsea making good, healthy choices, right? We're weighing things out. We're eating fruits and veggies and chicken and rice. And, we're going to the gym. They come to the gym with us.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. And they're part of that. They're part of that family. We'll take them in on a Saturday or Sunday and they'll just run around going crazy. Dad, I'm doing the workout. And they see Chelsea doing it, right? So they're emulating what you do. Our kids even play a game at home called Who's Coach Ryan? And
Oh
Coach
my
Ryan
gosh.
is the coach. And then the other one has to do what they say.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. So, I've always wanted I want to make sure when my, kids, they're running around like crazy now, but as they progress through their life, I want to be able to coach and throw the football, with them and play soccer and baseball. And I don't want to be that sedentary dad or grandpa that just, oh, what did grandpa do while they're there? Oh, grandpa sat in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a time and a place for that. But that's not the dad and hopefully, grandfather I want to be. So, on an also like a personal level, tragedy struck our family in the fall of 2020. My brother-in-law, 32 years old, fought real hard for 373 days with esophageal cancer and passed away.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
that definitely affected me and Chelsea and our family. It changed the trajectory of our family forever. They have 2 children almost identical to our kids' ages. And, he was married to my sister and they live about 3 miles away. But I feel a very intense need and responsibility to be able to be fit and active with not only my kids, but, my niece and nephew, to show them, we had a lot of hard talks his last days. And, one of the things we'd show them the way as much as humanly possible. But I also feel like we owe it to the people that aren't able to do this, right? I mean, you only
Yeah.
have one opportunity and one life to live. And, this is the only body you get. And my brother-in-law, Ryan, oddly enough, this is the foundation they started for him. That's the shirt that I'm wearing today. Was the fittest guy in the world. He played football with me in college. You could never see him with a shirt on during the summer. He had a 6-pack, tall guy. And sometimes your body just messes up. So,
Mm-hmm.
why would you not treat this one as best as you possibly can? And like I said, I owe it to my kids, to Chelsea, to my sister Alyssa, to Ryan, to his kids Hadley and Finley, and everybody down the line to be in a good mental spot and a good physical spot to be able to be there for them, as long as God will have me down here. So it's really transformed the way Chelsea and I have thought and kind of adjusted our lives. And it's been, the gym and nutrition has been an absolute godsend during that time, just because of
Yeah.
the support that you have, but also it gets you in a really good spot and good footing, to be, the best version of yourself.
Absolutely. That was unexpected. That kind of hit me. I
Yeah.
completely agree. Every day counts. And man, I mean, this is the only body we have. We got to take
Yep.
care of it. And so, wow, that touched me so much. I'm like baffled. I
Yeah.
feel the exact same way. Well, is there anything you would tell others about deciding to join the foundation's program and FLA? And is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing in today's world of instant gratification, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, people want those likes. They want, the comments and stuff. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. I mean, within the first 6 weeks, I was down 10 pounds. I was feeling good about myself. Next thing you know, we're in Florida for a wedding. I'm in Park City, Utah for a work meeting. I'm deer hunting. Then it's the holidays. And you just need to understand how your body is going to respond to the food and the drinks that you put into it. Hold yourself accountable. You have the coaches that also hold yourself accountable. And it's it's a marathon. I've kind of bounced back and forth with, the weight, and I'm in a really good spot, and I'm down now and I'm feeling good about things, but there are going to be times where it bounces, ping pongs the other direction. And it's just, you gotta be okay with that. And it's not an instant gratification thing, right? We're not going on a detox diet and then intermittent fasting and we're going to lose 20 pounds in 10 days. Like
No.
that's not the nature of it. And I can tell you, I've lost a lot of weight while increasing muscle, getting stronger in the gym, increasing my cardio. And it's really a lifelong thing. I mean, it's what, and I never want to go back to the old Andrew who was, eating a ton of protein, no carbs, no fat, and then you're drinking alcohol that kicks you over those calories. So I think it's just you gotta lock in for the long haul, and you gotta be coachable, and you can't have excuses. You don't have excuses with Emma Schulter. There are no excuses. There are none. Well, Emma, we had this. Well, Andrew, that doesn't matter. You got to prepare. And I like that accountability. I know it's not for everybody, but I've been held accountable on the sports side of things my whole life. I get held accountable every day by Chelsea, who's the greatest wife and partner in the world, because she does not take any bullshit.
That's so good.
And you can't throw it. And Emma's the same way. So, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you got to be coachable. You got to be okay being held accountable, and you can't take things personally. It's not, I know weight and nutrition and gym, it can be a personal thing, but everything's out in the open. You're tracking everything, and it's nothing personal. It's these people know what you need to do to get it done, and they'll hold you accountable, and you just got to lock in and give everything you got.
I love that. This was awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I look forward to your journey and you ping-ponging down.
You bet. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.